Hey guys, so we are back for another reading today. This one is going to be what is the gossip about you? So what are people saying behind your back? What are the words coming out of their mouth regarding your name? What do they have to say? It's so funny, I just looked outside my window and there's like vultures circling, which is perfect for this reading, but we're gonna find out, what the gossip is, what do people have to say about you guys. So today we have these beautiful bakery treats. So I will show you guys up close. We've got pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4, and I did have to duplicate 1 and 4 unfortunately, but try to go with whichever one you feel drawn to. I tried to make them look a little different, but try to shift the energy and see which one is really pulling you. But anyway, so this one is number 1. Okay, this one is number 2. Number 3. And number 4. So hopefully 1 is really calling your name and you feel really drawn to 1. And yeah, so let's go ahead and jump into pile 1. Hey pile 1, so if you guys picked this cute bakery item, this is going to be your reading. It looks like it's topped with like a golden raisin or something. You can see right there. It's really cute and it like literally is crispy sounding, just like a, I don't know what kind of bakery item that would be. I'm like gluten-free, so I don't get to eat fun stuff like that, but it looks really good. Let's get into it, guys. We got the Knight of Swords reversed, we got the 10 of Cups, we got the Sun, we got the 2 of Cups, we got the Chariot reversed, we got King of Pentacles, Page of Swords, 2 of Swords, Page of Cups, 10 of Pentacles reversed, Knight of Pentacles, the 6 of Wands reversed, 2 of Swords, the Knight or the Page of Pentacles, and the 9 of Wands. So I feel like, first of all, it's like people gossip about you where they feel like you're a heartbreaker. Like you guys have either had a big love, or I feel like, to be honest, it's something where like they feel like you've never had your heart broken, but you guys have done that to others. Like people imagine that you guys have just had these amazing dating experiences. Like I feel like you might meet someone and they might be like, so what kind of boyfriend did you have? Or like, tell me about your ex. They just assume that you have some like epic romance, or that you guys have dated really high quality people. Like they might imagine that, you know, you have a bunch of like broken hearts that you left behind you. I almost feel like they feel like if you're a girl, like you could have like used men or something, or maybe if you're a guy, same, but it's like you don't get your heart broken, but you break other people's hearts, and you just kind of make people fall in love with you. You know, and then you just kind of are like, oh, I'm done. Okay, bye. You know, and it's like, also like King of Pentacles, like you might have dated really wealthy or powerful people, or they're assuming that your exes have all been like hot, wealthy, like top tier type of people. And they just assume that you have this dating history that's like you're dating these like MVP type people. You know what I mean? And you kind of just have this like magnetism about you. We got the 6 of Wands and we got the Sun. So it's almost like you take up a lot of space in people's minds. You attract a lot of power and a lot of attention. I feel like there's kind of an energy where people feel like you haven't had to work that hard though. With the Chariot reverse, they're almost like, oh, everything's come easily to them, or they assume that you were born into a lot of wealth, or you got wealth from these partners that they think you've had. Like you didn't have to try that hard, and you didn't have to like go out of your way to make it happen, because people were just willing to give stuff to you. People were just like wanting to, you know, show you the world. So you haven't actually had to like work that hard. You guys have kind of just been able to like chill. We got Inner Child, and it's kind of like, you know how sometimes when you see someone who grew up really wealthy, it's like they haven't had to grow up. They can just be still very childish, still very innocent and naive. You guys have a purity about you. And I feel like people feel that a lot of people are drawn to that romantically. Like a lot of people love that you guys come off as kind of innocent and naive. So I feel like some of the gossip from other people is that they can't believe that you guys have dated some of the people that you have, or they're kind of just in awe of like, wow, they must have people falling all over them. They must have people just completely wanting to date them. Like, you guys give this kind of innocent quality. I feel like there's like certain actresses I'm thinking of, like when you look at like Edie Sedgwick or someone who has, I'm seeing someone with really big eyes, or kind of like Audrey Hepburn, or even like Mia Farrow, or someone when she was young, like all these women who had like really big innocent eyes, like almost a childlike look to them, you know, and they would do like the makeup with the strong, heavy lower lashes, and kind of look very wide-eyed and innocent. Even though they were grown women, there's almost that quality you guys exude of like youth and innocence, and you might even look younger than your age, but I feel like it's very attractive to people, and you kind of go through life seeming very unassuming. Like, you're not trying really hard to come off a certain way. You're just kind of like, oh, well, life always works out for me. You know, that's kind of like one of those things that people say happen when someone's just really attractive and maybe born into wealth on top of it, or having a parent who's willing to financially provide for them. It's like, oh, isn't just life's just so easy, and doesn't everything just happen to kind of fall into your lap? And everyone else is like, no, it definitely doesn't. But for you, there's this perception that everything came easy to you because you guys have this charisma to you that like people just assume that if you go out to get a drink at a bar, that you get free drinks from the bartender, or that someone's going to end up buying you your drinks, or if you get pulled over by a police officer, that you're going to kind of burst into tears and the police officer is going to let you go. You know, that just like things come easy to you. You don't have to bend, you know, break your back, working your tail, you know, to the bone, trying to fix something. Like, things just kind of fall into place for you. You don't have to be working and trying. Like, the Chariot is all about like making it happen, and I'm gonna do it in full speed ahead, and it's like that's reverse. You guys don't need to access that energy. People probably talk, the gossip is like, oh, it's so easy for them, or they never had to try, or they've never had anything bad happen to them, or they might even throw around the word like privilege, like you're so privileged, or, you know, everything has, or like pretty privilege, or everything's come easy for you, or you never had to try. And I feel like it creates resentment in the jealous people, but they're also like in awe of it, and they kind of wish that it would happen for themselves. Like, they feel like you just have had things just happen to you. What's the gossip about pile one? What's the gossip about pile one, the golden raisin? There's kind of like, I think the word is like guilelessness. Like, you guys are not schemers. You guys are very non-deceitful. I feel like sometimes you guys can be like too honest. Like, when you talk, you're just like someone could ask you something and they're like, well, you know, and they kind of expect you to kind of lie, or try to portray a certain image, but you guys have like a trustingness to you, kind of like, it's like you guys are just like, well, why wouldn't I tell them? Like, yeah, so this is my opinion or something, you know what I mean? But I also feel like you guys hold back in a way, and if you don't like someone's vibe, you're not going to kind of tell them everything. You guys are willing to hold parts of yourself back, and I feel like that creates frustration, because sometimes these people feel very entitled to your time, if you know what I'm trying to say. It's like you're very open on one hand, but there's also a part of you that's kind of like private, and you're not gonna lie if someone's like, hey, what's your opinion on this? Like, you will probably give your opinion, but you also might just be like, I'm not gonna tell you. Anyway, bye. Like, there's like an openness to you that's kind of childlike. You're not scheming or trying to get ahead like a lot of people. You're just kind of very confident in the world that like everything's gonna turn out okay. And so I feel like, yeah, that creates jealousy in people that feel like they've had to fight and struggle and watch every word they say, and that nothing's come easy for them, and that they've had all these financial constraints. To see you just kind of breezing through life and everything comes easy, it really annoys them. And I'm not saying that's actually what happened, but I just feel like that's how people perceive things for you. Like, people perceive you as being someone that things have just dropped into your lap, and also that you continuously have people falling in love with you. I feel like there's a lot of jealousy that extend to your romantic relationships, like people assuming that you've only dated like ballers, or you've only dated wealthy people, or you've only dated top tier, very attractive attractive types, or you must have had a bunch of glamorous romances because you're just so pretty or you're just so cute that, you know, of course you've had that. And that also, like, you know, you sometimes will read comments online about like a female celebrity and they'll be like, well, she's just a heartbreaker, or she broke his heart and it's so wrong or something. I feel like that's kind of something people would say about you, like that you have, I don't know, led people on, or that you know, you don't really mean it, your heart's not in it, kind of a thing. So you guys have a healing energy. That's the second time we've gotten a healer card. So you guys definitely carry like healing energy inside of you, and that might be this kind of purity that we're picking up on. But I feel like you guys, yeah, so I feel like some of the, it's like people are very intrigued about you, but they kind of can't figure you out. You guys have a lot of contradictions, and I feel like you just kind of breeze through life. I'm honestly getting kind of like Pisces vibes. You guys seem a little spacey, to be honest. Not all of you might be Pisces, but it's like just Pisces energy is coming through. Like you might be a little bit spacey sometimes, and people might sometimes assume that you're dumb or that you don't know what's going on, but it's just that you just don't really care that much. You're not one to like stress out about like, I need to get that promotion, it needs to be me right now, and I'm blah, blah, blah. Like you just are not in that mode. You're just kind of like, oh, it'll come to me, I'll manifest it. You're very chill, you're very relaxed, and I feel like sometimes people will gossip about you, saying again that you're either dumb or that, you know, you're just entitled, that everything comes easy to you, kind of a thing. And they're not realizing that you just go through life in a different way. You're not in this lifetime to scrap, to try to fight tooth and nail. You're not in here to get into that like angry competitive energy. You're in here to kind of chill and take things by, you know, as they come. But I feel like sometimes people think you're a bit of a space cadet, or that, you know, you're not perceiving things accurately. You guys have a lot of layers to you, and I think this is where sometimes some of the frustration comes in, or where the jealousy comes in, is because people can't quite figure you out. They can't kind of pin you down to one thing. Like just when they try to say like, oh well, they're just a user, they're just a sugar baby type user person, that they're just going after different men or going after different women and they don't even care. Then you do something really compassionate, so then they can't really say that you're heartless. So then they kind of have to switch gears and they'll be like, well, they're entitled, they've had everything come easily. And then they see you kind of like doing healing work for someone, and then they're like, okay, well, that's kind of work, so I can't say that. And then so it's like, I feel like they can't pin you down, and there's a lot of layers to you that make you very complex. And this is where sometimes you guys attract, I think, so much romantic attention, is that you guys, there's a mystery to you. There's like a duality and a withholding quality to you, where on one hand you're very open, but on the other hand you have a lot of like hidden secrets that I think that you just kind of keep to yourself. So I feel like it's almost like no one can really know you, and that brings out a lot of intrigue in like everyone. The more that like you hold something back or conceal it, the more people are like, show me, I want to know. And so for you, there's a lot of that energy of just people wanting you to give them everything, and never being satisfied because you just aren't that type of person. Honestly, you guys may be old souls. Oh, healing again. You guys may have manifested maybe many times on this planet, and you may have come back. I'm almost seeing like someone on the astral plane coming through and being like, oh my gosh, the humans are having a problem again. I have to go down again. Like, I was just chilling up there on the clouds, and okay, they really need me this time. I guess I'll go down. And it's kind of like you guys are like the old jaded, you know, spiritual being that like has been around the block several times, is super old and wise, and you have manifested so many times. And that's why you're not the type to stress out about like these earthly concerns, is because you're kind of like one foot on this side, one foot on the other side. You're kind of still spiritually like also very in touch with like your guides and your team on the other side. I wouldn't even call them your guides, because I feel like you're kind of on their level, and it was kind of just like, no, you need to be the one who goes down. And so you're like, okay, but like they're not like necessarily over you, you're very much on their level. So you guys are that wise and that like ascended, I feel. So I feel like people sense this power from you, and it can intimidate people who are lower vibrational. So I feel like the gossip, it's almost like they're grasping for straws. They're trying to say like, they're trying to point to like that and then this, but that and that, and it never really works. You know how sometimes someone will try to tell you gossip about like a celebrity or like a mutual friend, and they're kind of like, well, I heard that like they didn't clean their car for like 2 weeks and there was like a layer of dust on it. And you're like, okay, why would I care? Or they're like, well, I heard that like their boyfriends went to the airport and was on vacation, and when they came back, they didn't even offer to give them a ride back from the airport. And you're like, okay, that's not gossip. It's not juicy gossip. Sorry, that's not important. So it's kind of like that. Like I feel like people are trying to talk about you behind your back, but you guys don't really have anything that bad. I think you stir up a lot of jealousy and envy, and then people try to pinpoint like it's that, but it's not really working. It's kind of like, you know how sometimes, again, like there'll be like a celebrity and someone's trying to cancel them, and they'll point to like a totally ridiculous reason. Like they'll be like, well, they went to like India on vacation a few years ago and they totally ate the traditional Indian food, and they described it as really good and cute, and that's patronizing, and so they deserve to be canceled. And you're like, what? That's not a reason to be canceled. Like saying food is cute or something, like what? It just doesn't make sense. And I feel like that's the kind of thing, like people are trying to find things that you guys have done that's like bad, but it's like they can't. But they do have that jealousy. They definitely have that jealousy regardless. You guys have good boundaries. I think that's what stirs up anger. I feel like you guys have learned, like you just don't really, I almost feel like some of you guys, you might have, this might be your last manifestation on earth, and you guys are so in touch with your team on the other side that you're just not as concerned with like what's going on here. Like you're like, yeah, I'll deal with it, but you're just kind of like, you know, like a second semester senior that's like ready to graduate and is kind of like, I don't really care. I know I'm going to college anyway, and I've done this a bunch of times and I'm not stressing. You know, that's kind of your energy. So I do feel like what sometimes would stress out other people, it's just not really going to work on you guys, and you guys stay very much in your peace and stay very much in your power, and you're not one to like freak out, panic about anything. So I think sometimes that irritates people, that they're trying to get under your skin, but they can't. But you have this kind of like half there, half not vibe that I think makes you guys seem very ethereal to people. And people might even talk about you guys being on drugs or being on different substances, or like assuming that like you've used some kind of, like substance, because you guys seem sometimes so head in the clouds, so like kind of there but not there, that sometimes people might be like, oh, did you drink or did you take something? And you're like, no, I'm just chilled out, I'm just kind of blissed out. So we got the Hawk Prince, spirit communication, paying attention, the Arrow Master, hitting the mark, intention, detachment, map maker of destiny. I feel like a lot of you guys are like honestly pretty high up spiritually, and we got a bunch of cards showing like spiritual leaders, like the Hawk Prince, the map maker of destiny, the High Lord of gratitude and service, and you know, that looks like, I think, a Buddhist monk, but I could be wrong. If it's not, let me know. But yeah, so it's like you guys are very spiritually ascended. So I feel like you're very protected from this gossip. When people start gossiping about you, they get karma really quick. It gets boomerang back really quick to them. So I feel like even though these people are just grasping for straws and trying to talk bad about you, like it's just not going to work that well. They really can't say that much about you, even though they may be trying to. It's just kind of a no-go. Your spirit guides are like, no. Sometimes people may think that you're putting on this like persona as an act, like, oh, well, they're not really that ditzy, they just pretend to be, or they're trying to get like romantic attention, they're always flirting with people, but it's not, like, I feel like people can see through it. So even if someone is to talk bad about you and say all this stuff, like everyone's gonna be like, yeah, I don't think she was flirting with him on purpose, it just seems like people fall in love with her. I mean, that happens all the time for her. So we got Standing Stones, Passage, Mystic Meadow, Sanctuary. You guys may have been like druids druids in a past life, or yeah, druids, or involved in like Stonehenge or something. I feel like if you feel connected to that, you might have been Celtic, you know, spiritual people in a past life. We got moonlight enchantment magic, so you guys may be really good at magic. People may get a vibe from you that you guys seem a little bit witchy, you know, getting like Stevie Nicks vibes, like where people get this vibe of like, huh, I wonder if they're involved in, I don't know, spiritual practices or something. Like you just seem like someone that, you know, they might not know what that energy is, but they can kind of tell, like, that you just seem kind of witchy and into that kind of a thing. Like, I feel like it's becoming more mainstream now. People are more aware of tarot and astrology than ever before. So maybe people are starting to have an inkling of like, that's the vibe. That's what they're picking up on, is like this spiritual vibe with you. So I feel like it's hard to kind of figure out why this would be a negative, but I feel like this is the energy people are picking up on, and they may say that you guys are doing it in a manipulative way, trying to pretend to be something you're not. What is the gossip about pile 1? What is the gossip about pile 1? What is the gossip about pile 1? Skywriting, the fates. I honestly feel like a lot of you guys, you carry a vibe that you guys had like a great love or something, or that you guys are always having people fall in love with you, and even if someone just met you, they can kind of just pick up on that. Like, you just seem like someone that's broken a bunch of hearts or had major people in love with you. Like, you just seem like that person that like everyone would have a crush on in class, or everyone would have a crush on at school or at work or whatever. And it's like you have this big power about you, and people can be kind of intimidated, or they really like that and they want to learn from you, and they're kind of like, teach me your ways. How do I get people to fall in love with me like that? Rising above the fray is such a good thing for your vibe. I feel like people might get offended from you because it's like you're not willing to engage as much. Like, if someone's wanting to gossip, or if someone's wanting to kind of form like a group and kind of exclude people, you're just like, oh, no thanks, I'm good, I'll go sit with them anyway, they seem cool. Like, you're not into like the petty stuff, you're not really, don't care that much about like the social games. So I feel like sometimes people can get offended, or get feeling like, oh, well, they rejected me, or like, how dare they talk to me like that, how dare they just turn down my invitation. So yeah, I feel like sometimes the fact that you guys are spiritually ascended can actually work against you, and people can get annoyed and cast you as kind of like this out of it, like maybe a little bit of a druggie, a little bit of a hippie, like you're not really paying attention. You guys might also come off as like artistic. So if you guys have like an artistic way of presenting yourself, like maybe interestingly dyed hair or something, people might make comments about that, like make fun of like, oh, you with your blue hair or something. I don't know. But I feel like it's like the fact that you guys aren't really caring if you're included in the group because you have your group on the other side, people do take offense to that, and then they try to kind of like, they get offended first and then they try to find a reason to be offended, you know what I mean? Because if they were actually honest, they'd be like, I'm mad that they're too cool for us. But instead they can't say that, so instead they say, well, I think they're using drugs, or I think that they're using people for money, they make everyone fall in love with them and then they get money. It's like, you guys don't have to worry about finances, because probably, again, you like negotiated this when you were deciding to come down for this lifetime. A lot of you guys, I feel like, might have made an agreement of like, well, I'm gonna be born into a family that like wants to financially support me for a few years or something, so I don't have to worry about it, because frankly, I don't want to deal with making money like at a minimum wage job when I'm 18 or whatever for the first few years. Like, if I'm going to manifest and I'm going to come down and help these people on earth this time around, then I need to have some finances like set up and ready to go. Like, you might have worked out something like that on the other side. I don't know, but there's just this assumption that you guys haven't had to struggle, and that you're kind of just dreamily going through life and everything's really easy and you're not having to struggle or work super hard. So yeah, let's see what other cards have to say. What is the gossip about pile 1? What's the gossip? Yeah, you guys just seem very I feel like people just get annoyed that you guys seem very above it all. Like, it's like you seem very ascended, like literally above it all. Like your energy might be more ascended than other people's. And so they might say like, oh, they think they're above us, or they seem above it all. And it's like, yeah, I am. I am above it all, but I'm just, like, spiritually speaking, I'm on another plane right now. I am not down on the lowest vibrational plane, freaking out and getting jealous and getting envious, because I'm an ascended spiritual creature. So people don't really understand that, and they might take it as like you think you're better than them, or you think you're, you know, the most important person or something. But I do feel like, yeah, there's a lot of jealousy coming through. There's a lot of anger about how you guys carry yourselves, but I also think there's a lot of respect for it. I think if people were honest, they would be like, I wish this person was like more open to me. I wish this person wanted to hang out with me. I wish this person was down to hang out, because it's like a lot of people just have a ton of respect for you. They think that you're actually really dope. But there's resentment that you're not willing to engage as much with them as they would like. Let's get some cards from this deck. What do people gossip about pile 1? Yin and yang. Dating. Yeah, they just assume like dates come easily to you. You just give off this like very beautiful vibe, and people just assume that like so many people are interested in dating you. You guys have a very like receptive energy, and like I said, soulmates, like people assume that you've had some major love or something. You may seem very connected to someone in your past that you've dated, that you considered like a soulmate, and you were very like into them, and that may come off like people just may be able to tell that you've had a relationship that was like consuming and was like a beautiful soulmate type of vibe. And a lot of people, you know, they're craving that kind of love. So even if you guys had a breakup and now you're like, oh yeah, like that was painful and I'm not really thrilled that I had to go through that, people are jealous because they wish that they could experience that kind of love once in a lifetime, even if it never, you know, works out, or it doesn't turn out okay in the end. They're like, I would just love to have that experience and just know what it's like to be loved that deeply. So I feel like there's something about that soulmate experience that you guys had that people can still tell that you went through that, and that you're still energetically connected to that person, and people pick up on that in your energy field. So there's jealousy and resentment towards you on that front of like, they want to know what happened, they want to know the details. They can just feel like intuitively that someone is attached to your energy field, someone who loved you a great deal and was very possessive of you and was very deeply connected to you, and that you guys just had this super deep, amazing, intense relationship, and a lot of people are jealous of that. And so that might also be why you guys come off as kind of distant or kind of flaky, is because part of you is still very connected to this person and still energetically very enmeshed with them. And even though you guys are like technically there in the moment, or technically flirting with someone at a bar, your mind is also still with that other person at all times. And so it's like people know that it's like they're only getting a piece of you because part of you is still with that other person, and then another part of you is up on the astral plane, like I said. So they're kind of like putting together those pieces, and they're kind of a little resentful that like that you've been through that, and that it just seems very glamorous to a lot of people. I think, like, even though I think that relationship must have caused you guys a lot of pain, people are seeing that as very glamorous, and there's jealousy that you have gotten to experience all of that. Let me get one final card for pile 1. King of Pentacles, or 9 of Pentacles. Okay. The Star again. You guys come off as someone who might be like a celebrity. Wow. Justice. So another major arcana. 2 of Swords. Yeah, you come off as someone who, wow, is very spiritually powerful. If you guys are trying to manifest being like a celebrity or something, I feel like you have that vibe. I feel like you have this intriguing, like, je ne sais quoi, as the French say. Like, you have this special something about you that a lot of people would kill to have, like a charisma that people are just drawn to you. People are just curious. They're just not quite sure everything about you. They can't quite put their finger on it. They're just very drawn, very, very interested, very very, very, very curious about you. So I do feel that, yeah, they're very drawn to you. They're very curious. They're very, it's like a star quality. You know how like just a random person will have charisma and you're interested in them even though they're not even doing anything? Like a certain celebrity, you'll just be like, wow, they're so cool. And even if they play a bit part in a movie, you remember them. And the next movie they're in, you remember them. And then they get a starring role and it seems like their career just takes off super fast. It's because they have that je ne sais quoi, and I feel like you guys have that. You guys have this special, like once in a lifetime charisma to you guys that people would just love to have. So this is why I think that I think even though it's funny because I'm not coming up with a lot of negatives, but I get that a lot of people do talk about you and have a lot of gossip and they're saying this stuff that isn't even negatives, but it's like they're just wanting to say anything about you because they're so curious. They all have their eyes on you, but then they're kind of like, okay, there's nothing that bad, but they're so curious, they're so interested, they're so intrigued by you, that they're kind of, like I said, they're willing to do anything to talk about you. You know how when someone has a crush, they'll just want to bring up their crush no matter what, and they'll be like, well, I saw Bobby and he was eating ice cream today, and you're like, okay, is that supposed to be interesting? I don't care. Like, he could eat ice cream, he could eat pizza, he could eat anything. I don't need to talk about it. But you know, when someone has a crush, you just know, like if one of your girlfriends has a crush about someone, they just will bring them up ad nauseum, and you'll be like mid conversation and someone will be like, yeah, so I went to this amusement park, and they'll be like, Bobby went to that amusement park. Yeah, he went, yeah, like a few years ago he was telling me he went to the amusement park, and it's like, we don't need to know. No one else is interested in Bobby except you. But that's kind of how everyone is about you. Like, I feel like they just want to bring you up in conversation. They want to talk about you. They're curious. They're intrigued by you. They want to know about you. And I feel like that's something everyone shares. Like, everyone's like, what's the deal about them? They can't put their finger on you because, again, you guys have this elusiveness to you. It's even hard to do this reading because it's hard to exactly put this energy into words. But you have this elusiveness to you, and people can't quite get a handle on what you have going on. They just know they're intrigued by it. They just want to know more. And there's a lot of complexity. You guys probably have one of those astrology charts where there's like a bunch of like planets that are like right next to each other. So by that I mean like sometimes, so when you have two houses that are next to each other, a lot of times they're very contradictory. That's just how the astrology wheel is situated. So like a good example of that would be Aries Pisces. So you see a Aries Pisces combination in a lot of sex symbols, and that's because Aries is the planet of war. It's the planet of hard driving, masculinity. It's very like aggressive, go for it, no thought, just take action, self-oriented. And then Pisces is really the opposite. I mean, it's very dreamy. It is the last sign of the zodiac, whereas Aries is the youngest sign of the zodiac. So Pisces is the oldest. And Pisces is very kind of relaxed, very chill. If anything, they have a tendency not to rush in, but to like procrastinate and be like, oh, it'll work out. Oh, it's fine, whatever. And very dreamy, very feminine, very receptive energy, very psychic, intuitive, very meditative, very artistic. So it's so funny because they're total opposites, and they show up a lot in the charts of like sex symbols. And someone will have one planet in Pisces, one planet in Aries, very strong planets. So something that comes up a lot is like a Venus in Aries, and then maybe Sun in Pisces, or Mercury in Pisces, or vice versa. Venus in Pisces, Sun in Aries, whatever. Another one like that is Libra and Scorpio. And I'm not trying to like turn this into an astrology video, so I'm not going to explain this with all the signs. But just my point is you guys have this duality. You have this like one part of you is this way and the other part contradicts it, and they're kind of constantly dueling. And I think the reason I see that in so many like sex symbols charts is because it creates a lot of confusion, but it makes you very intrigued. Like, you're like, but like a minute ago they were saying this, but then they also have this side, and they looked like that a minute ago, but then they're also kind of nice at that. You know the phrase like, get you a man who can do both? That's kind of this energy. Like, you guys have a lot of contradictions. You have a lot of stuff that kind of like shouldn't go together but does go together, and so people can't quite figure you out in an easy way, and so they end up thinking you over and kind of being like, well, I wonder what that is, and next thing they know, they're kind of obsessing, they're thinking about you a lot. So I feel like there's a ton of gossip about you, even though there's not a lot of negative stuff to say, but they're very intrigued. So is there anything else you want me to say for pile 1, Spirit? No, they're saying that's it. So yeah, this is very intriguing energy, pile 1. Yeah, you guys have a lot of, like, I would say fans. And if you guys are thinking about having a career in the public eye or something, I would say you're definitely very much cut out for it. So let me know if it resonates, guys. Let me know in the comments. And if you liked this video, please leave it a like. Make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications. And yeah, I will be back soon for another reading. Sending you guys lots of love and light. Take care, guys. Bye. Hey, pile 2. So if you guys picked this pastry, this is going to be your reading. To me, this kind of looks like it would be like a cinnamon roll pastry or something along those lines. It like even feels or sounds crispy. I don't know if you can hear it, just like a powdered sugar crusted on the top, or I guess regular sugar. But anyway, let's get into the cards. You guys got Queen of Cups, 10 of Swords, 10 of Pentacles reversed, the World, Justice, the Devil, High Priestess, Judgment, the 8 of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, and the 6 of Wands. So I'm getting off the bat that sometimes people like accuse you or say that you're like judgmental or something. I feel like you guys have really high standards, and sometimes that rubs people the wrong way. Like, I feel like sometimes people who are trying to date you or be with you romantically, they get offended because they know that you guys like expect the best and expect a certain level of like behavior, and you're not one to tolerate or like be okay if someone is going to, you know, not meet those standards. Like, I feel like people, even if that's not the case, that's what people assume about you, that you guys have high standards and that you've only dated like kind of high quality type of people. So people with their money lined up, or people who are really good looking, or people who have a certain personality or a certain background, or like really good manners or something. I don't know. But it's like they are saying that basically you're judgmental and you're not the one who will be like, oh, well, you know, they picked me up to take me on a date to McDonald's in like a broken down car that had tape, you know, holding up one of the windows that was made out of cloth, and like they blah blah blah, like it's fine. You're not that type of person. Like, people expect that they need to be coming correct, and if they're not, you're not gonna, you know, just accept bad treatment or accept less than you deserve. You guys are aware of your worth, and you very much live in your worth, and you have this Queen of Cups, High Priestess energy. So you're also very psychic and intuitive, and you guys can kind of see through the BS. You're not one to be easily fooled. You're very intuitive, and you have a good radar for people. Like, you don't need to be told to listen to your intuition or use your judgment, because you guys are already very well versed in that and already good in that. And I feel like you're also like, you guys are pursuing your bag. You guys might not be there yet, but you guys are very much working hard towards making that money, getting that money come in, and people see that happening for you. And so I feel like people may gossip and say that you're shallow, or that you guys are, you know, too judgmental, or like, again, shallow. Like, they keep saying that. But I don't think that's the case. I think you guys just are aware of your worth. And I feel like it's like people are mad when they don't measure up. You know what I mean? People aren't going to be mad if they do measure up. They're going to be like glad, like, oh, this person's really discerning and they chose me. So yeah, it's kind of like you bring out their insecurities, or you bring out their feeling of not being good enough. Spirit, can you please tell us, Archangel Michael, what is the gossip around pile 2, the cinnamon roll? Yeah, I feel like you're not one to, like, you guys may have even, I don't know, some of you guys may have been married late or something, or you might be someone who has turned down marriage proposals, and I feel like people are saying that. Like, you guys are not one to let your emotions run away from you. These are all, this is so funny, these are all reversed, and this deck is upright, so like, it's, yeah. People are saying that you are not one to like you know how someone will be like, well, I know they're not good for me, but like, I love them, and so I'm just gonna do it anyway, even though they treat me really bad. That's not you. You guys are like, you know, they're not treating me right, and I'm on to the next. You guys might be a Capricorn or something. We do have cards relating to that. So I feel like some of you guys, yeah, they say you're judgmental, or that you guys seem like the type who have turned down a lot of romantic prospects because like they're not good enough for you. You guys have maybe even rejected proposals or something, and people are talking about that of like, I can't believe the way she just dumped like Michael. She just totally broke his heart. Or I can't believe the way he just dumped Sarah. She didn't deserve that, or whatever. And it's like people are talking about how you guys have been kind of a savage in that sense. And you're not one to just be blown away with like, you know how you'll hear a story about like someone married this person when they had nothing, and they were living off ramen noodles, and they just, you know, you are not about that life. Like if someone's not going to come correct, it's not that you're disloyal, but you're like, no, like then line that up. Let's get that going first. And then come to me. And so I feel like people may say that, I don't know, you're like a gold digger or a sugar baby or something like that. And it's almost like they see you as a little bit harsh, or that you guys, like have a judgment towards others. Like you guys expect the best. I feel like some of you guys are really well groomed or very well put together, and you guys come across as very like you dress like you're together. You don't walk around looking like a mess. You don't walk around disheveled with like messy hair. I feel like for the most part, even if you didn't wash your hair for a couple days, like you're gonna come off as someone who's very polished and who presents very well. And I do feel like you expect that from a partner, but I feel like sometimes people judge or say that you're judgmental because of that, and that you guys, you know, only care about money or something like that, or you only care about status. So yeah, there's judgment along those lines, with people feeling like you just don't have enough, I guess, understanding or being willing to make consideration for someone who, you know, isn't in the best financial place or something like that. I also feel like, I don't know, like people are saying that, again, you broke someone's heart, or you weren't that nice to someone. So I don't know, there maybe have been someone in your romantic past that you guys rejected, or that you guys publicly kind of passed over, and a judgment that you guys made. I don't know, maybe there was like a public breakup or something, and people are saying that you broke this person's heart, or that you were really mean to them or something. And that they felt really defeated. But I feel like people are gossiping along those lines of like you guys just not being that understanding. But I think it's a good thing. Like I feel like you guys aren't going to be martyrs. You're not going to let someone take advantage of you, and I personally have a lot of respect for that. So other cards we got, what is the judgment around pile 2? What is the judgment or the gossip around pile 2? It's funny I said judgment, because I do feel like people say that you're judgmental or whatever. I feel like you guys come off as someone who has a lot of friends. People may say that you're kind of like queen bee, or you know, top of this social hierarchy, and they may make judgments associated with that of like, this person is shallow, or this person, you know, is very much like social climber type of thing, or this person is manipulative about their social circle. It's almost like they think that you use your friends and weaponize it against people. But I don't think that's necessarily the case. That's not the vibe I'm picking up on. I feel like people are intimidated by the power you have and by the way you guys know your own worth. You guys aren't going to let someone treat you really badly and put you down and just treat you like you guys are a afterthought. You guys are absolutely aware of your power and your potential, and I feel like that intimidates and threatens people. You guys aren't going to tolerate someone who isn't in their own power. Like I also feel like you guys don't like to tolerate people who are like have addictions or are out of it or constantly on drugs or on alcohol. Like you guys are very much someone who wants someone who's like clear-headed, mentally clear-headed, like in a good place themselves, thinking clearly. You don't want to be with someone who is just kind of going to act like a clown and all over the place and isn't like wise. You guys want someone who is balanced, who has a grip on their life, and who is in control of themselves. So yeah, I think that people have a lot of respect for you, but there's just this intimidation coming through. There's this feeling that people have that you can kind of see right through them, that you guys have this judgment and this ability to kind of cut to the core of things that I think puts people kind of, they might say that you're like sharp, or you're mean, or like you're not very nice, or something like that. Strength, you guys definitely come off as very strong. You guys definitely have a vibe of someone who is not going to be easily shaken or easily dominated over. You guys come off as someone who knows your own power and isn't going to be swayed or isn't going to be like brought down by someone else. Yeah, there's a lot of wisdom and knowledge that you guys have. I think that, you know, someone may feel insecure. It's almost like you guys can see through from how someone actually is, or is pretending to be, to how they actually are. So sometimes people may be trying to present a certain image of themselves, of being like a certain way, or trying to pretend that they have a certain, you know, type of skill set. And you guys are like that person who will be like, well, but actually, like, where did you get educated? Or actually, like, what's your background? Or actually, like, what did you really complete? Like, you're not the one who someone can just BS and like schmooze it over and, you know, tell a bunch of lies and you're gonna believe it. You guys are going to ask those tough questions, and I just think a lot of times people aren't ready for that. And you're not going to tolerate a lot of nonsense or like dysfunctional behavior. Like, I feel like if someone tries to like embroil you in a kind of like love triangle, or like play one person off the other, or make someone insecure, like you're just like, okay, bye, I don't have time for it. You know, like, I feel like people need to come correct. And I feel like especially romantically, that can rub people the wrong way, where they feel like, how dare you? You didn't give me a shot. You just shot me down so easily. Like, you're mean, you're cold. But I don't think that's that. I just think you guys are very goal oriented, and you want to end up here with this 10 of Pentacles, and you're not wanting to waste your time with someone that doesn't have their ish together and isn't going to probably ever get it together and has a bunch of issues, you know, and maybe needs to see a therapist, and maybe, you know, has stuff that they really need to work through. You're not going to be sitting around waiting for them and hoping that they figure it out. And I feel like sometimes that offends people, because they're like, I'm not in that energy. I know I'm not going to be in that energy for a while. So romantic partners, I feel like, are a major source of gossip for you. After they get rejected by you, they start getting very angry because you guys weren't willing to take their BS behavior, and so then they take it around and try to like create a reputation for you, or say that you guys only care about money, only care about looks, status, that kind of a thing, that you guys are shallow. But a lot of that is just that you rejected them. And you're not willing to like turn a blind eye to a lot of these flaws that maybe someone else would, but it's like, then go ahead and date them. Go ahead and date all the people that will blow past those red flags, but it ain't me. I am not going to blow past the red flags. I know my worth, I know my dignity, and I'm absolutely going to value that. And so, yeah, I think that these are like a lot of like people that you've rejected romantically. They find you very attractive, and they're very drawn to your energy. And the funny thing is, I think a big reason they are drawn to you is because you guys have this discernment and you have this strong energy, where people know that you guys are this, you have a good judgment, you have a certain level of status. It's kind of like how, you know, someone who enters like a county fair winning like contest for like the best pie in a certain state, or something, like the best pie in Minnesota, or, you know, the best grown like pig in Minnesota or something. No offense to anyone, or not. That just comes to mind as like, you know, a something that would happen at like a county fair. And so it's like they try to win, but like they get rejected, and they don't even end up getting any medal. They're not like 5th or 6th. They're way down the list. And then afterwards, they wanted to win so bad because they knew it was a strong competition. And had they won, they would be all about it. They would be talking about like, I won the Minnesota State Fair. I'm so proud. They'd put that medal on their wall. But if they lose, they start going around and they start saying like, well, who cares about the Minnesota State Fair? My pie was amazing. They don't even know what they're talking about. They're snobs. This is crazy. They shouldn't even be doing this contest. It's wrong. That kind of a thing. Like, I feel like they are drawn to you because you guys have this discernment and because you guys tend to have this aura about you of like high quality. Like, you guys expect the best and you know you deserve the best. And you guys also, I feel like, might do a lot of like self-care. I feel like some of you guys do like face masks, sheet masks, you know, spiritual baths, bubble baths. You make sure you get your sleep. You make sure you take your vitamins. You make sure you take good care of your skin, and you're putting on like moisturizer, and you're putting on you know, SPF and whatnot. So you guys keep yourself looking really good. And I feel like a lot of you guys may want that in a partner. And I feel like sometimes people may get offended. Like, how could you judge me for, you know, that I have like wrinkles? But you're like, well, the reason you like me is because I don't, is because I've always taken really good care of myself. Or how could you judge me for being out of shape? And you're like, well, you want me because I am in shape, or something like that. You know what I mean? So there's like this kind of hypocritical nature to the gossip. What is the gossip about pile 2? What is the gossip about pile 2? Sad embrace. So yeah, this is a lot of like romantic rejection. I feel like a lot of the people that end up gossiping about you are people that you reject. Magical shapeshifter, balancing act, spirit of place. Yeah, I feel like you guys have a lot of people who end up having crushes on you. Some of you guys may be Libras. And it's almost like something where some of them may say like, oh, they were flirting with me, they were leading me on, but you're just trying to be friendly, you're just trying to be nice. And you're not actually like flirting. You're not actually trying to make a romantic situation happen, but they see you. You guys are very attractive. I feel like some of you guys have really attractive faces, and also I feel like put on, like, again, I'm seeing someone who presents themselves very well. If you're, you know, a girl, you might wear a lot of makeup or do your hair really well, or just present yourself as very put together. If you're a guy, maybe you're just put together, have cologne, you know, that kind of a thing. But I feel like they are basically saying that, you know, like that, how much you guys take care of yourselves, you make a very attractive person. You're a very attractive package. And so people end up being very attracted to you and then getting mad when you reject them. But I feel like you're not seeking out their attention. It's not like you're coming up to them and trying to make a relationship happen, or specifically trying to flirt and get something going. You guys are just kind of being yourself, and it's pulling in this attraction. It's pulling in this romantic interest that people have in you. So yeah, I feel like a lot of people feel the spark and they're like, didn't you feel that? Don't you feel that attraction between us? And you're like, what are you talking about? Like, what attraction where? What? Huh? So yeah, people may feel drawn to you, but I think that sometimes their imagination runs away from them and they start thinking that you guys have more than what you actually do. So let me get more cards for pile 2. What is the gossip about pile 2? What is the gossip about pile 2? Okay, ancestral wisdom, lay of the land. Some of you guys may be from another culture or something than the country you live in. Maybe your ancestors were from another culture or something. Or you guys just seem well-traveled or seem very in touch with your ancestors. Repairing the veil, forgiveness. Dream time, dream thief, refusal of the call. Garden of Venus, rest and renewal. Horned cactus, resourcefulness. I feel like something that irritates people is that you guys are very much able to reside in your power. Like, people may try to guilt you for being this way, or make you feel bad about like, well, you just think you're very special, don't you? You think you're better than everyone. And you're like, well, no, but I feel pretty good. You're not going to allow someone to try to bring you down based on their own insecurity. You guys are very much confident in yourselves, and you're very much, aware of what you guys deserve, and you're not really going to be shaken. And I think that's where some of this feeling of judgmentalness or fear that you guys are judging them comes from, where people feel like you can really see through them. And I think to a certain extent they're right, because I think you guys do have this really great judgment, and some of you guys may be getting like feedback or wisdom from your ancestors. I feel like you guys spend a lot of time kind of pampering yourselves, treating yourselves right. I feel like you guys are trying to manifest like a really high quality lifestyle, and you know that you need to like pamper yourselves and treat yourselves right and dress a certain way, and you guys are leaning in strong to that. Like, this is someone who I'm seeing who is very like put together and really is like dressed to the nines and really makes such a beautiful presentation. And it's so funny, I feel like sometimes the people that try to approach you or date you romantically are totally not put together, and they're kind of a mess, and they kind of don't make a good impression at all, and they kind of it's funny because they kind of are totally not on your level, but yet they feel super drawn to you and they feel super entitled to your time. And they want you because you're put together, but then they get mad that you're rejecting them for not being put together. So I feel like they might make judgments again about you guys being superficial, or about you guys being shallow, gold diggers, that kind of a thing. So let me get some final cards for pile 2. Let me get some final cards for pile 2. What is the gossip about pile 2? So we got the Well Watcher, Wisdom, Power of the Divine, the Word Lord. I feel like you guys are good communicators, and I feel like you guys can have a sharp tongue when you want to. Like, someone may think that like they're gonna run up on you and like verbally insult you and just have like, you know, totally win and like throw daggers at you and they're going to come out on top. But the reality is, like, you have a very sharp tongue and you know how to use it. So if they want to come insulting you and saying nasty stuff, you are going to say something back, and you are going to be like, no, no. And you know exactly what to say. So I think sometimes they may think that that's the good idea, and then they end up actually talking to you, and it's like, oh no, you made a big mistake. So you guys, yeah, there's like this sharp energy you guys have. You're very perceptive. You're very intelligent. You see through a lot of the BS. You're not one who's easily fooled. You're not one who's super gullible or who is going to believe a bunch of lies. And I think that that brings up a lot of irritation with these people that you've rejected romantically. They can't stand the fact that you guys, you know, I feel like sometimes they think like, if I put this much effort into anyone else, they would have totally believed it. They would have totally accepted it. And how dare they just like reject me like that? Because it's like, yeah, you guys have high standards, but it's because you know that that's what you deserve. A lot of people are attracted to you. A lot of people would like to have a romantic relationship with you. And that's what people don't get sometimes, is like, yeah, they may be very drawn to you, but so are a lot of other people. Like, you guys have options. You don't need to settle for some trash. Another thing is that, again, friendship. You guys have a good social circle. You guys are good socially. You make a good impression on people. And I feel like sometimes people, that may intimidate them, or they may make comments about you being like a mean girl, or being like, you know, head of some social circle, like, oh, well, they're just a mean girl or a mean guy, or they think that they are like the queen bee or the queen boy, and they are using all their friends against people. So it's almost like Regina George or something, or people are trying to say that you're that way, or people are trying to say that you like weaponize your friend group. And people are mad that you guys have so many social connections. But I also feel like you guys don't just do well socially with like people your own age, but you actually do really well with authority figures. And that makes people resent you, because you guys can make a good impression on like your manager or your supervisor. You guys are willing to put in that extra work, and you guys are willing to go to your supervisor and, you know, schmooze a little bit with them and get in with them. And so I feel like people resent that, or they say that you're calculated. But I think you guys are very much on track for success with what you guys are doing and this kind of strategy you guys have. So I feel like some of this may be jealousy, or them feeling like Like maybe they could go talk to the supervisor, and maybe they're not as charismatic as you, but they could try. They could, you know, bring muffins into the supervisor or something to get in there, but you guys are the only ones willing to make those steps. So, you know, a lot of that is projection, is like they're not willing to accept their part in things, so they blame it on you. But I do feel like you guys give off an energy that you're on track to success, and even though people may resent that or may call you like a gold digger or shallow because of that, I mean, you know, you guys are on track for achieving a lot of the things you want to achieve. So I wouldn't let myself get too swayed or be offended by that. I would just be like, yeah, I am on track. Yep. I'm headed straight for the top. So that's true. But yeah, you guys have some big dreams, and you're very talented. A lot of you guys are very talented, highly intelligent. So even though people may not like to admit it or may not like to deal with that fact, they are going to have to see you guys doing really well, and they are going to have to just deal with the fact that you may not have the time for them, but you guys are on your way to achieving a lot, whether they like it or not. So is there any other messages for pile 2? I think that might be it. Let me get one from this deck. Are there any other messages for pile 2? I hate shuffling this deck because things just fly out, and not in a good way. It's like a really slippery deck. Messages for pile 2. Stepping into power. You are strong beyond measure, embracing enthusiasm and navigating by the stars. So I feel like you guys are stepping into power, and some of you guys are already in powerful positions. Like if you guys are even, you know, you might not be like top CEO of a Fortune 500 company, but if you guys are working at like the local burger joint, you might be the manager or assistant manager or on your way to that. But I do feel like eventually you guys are going to really be in a powerful position, and people are jealous, or they're gossiping about how good at strategy you guys are. They're gossiping about, you know, how you guys can be kind of, it's almost like they're saying you're Machiavellian or something, or that you guys, you know, you don't care about others, you're just looking out for yourself. But I think it's because you guys are, you know, you're wanting to work hard, you're needing to work hard, and you aren't afraid of putting in the time. But I do feel like people gossip about that. Like people are insecure because they can't work as hard as you, and they're not willing to. And so it makes them upset that you guys are so dedicated to getting to the top and so like on that track so strongly. So I think that's all the messages I have for you guys. Is there anything else you want me to say for pile 2? The gossip about pile 2? I think your guides are just saying keep going and don't be daunted by it. Don't let it hold you back, because these people aren't powerful enough to stop you. So don't let it worry you. Like take it as a compliment, because you guys are doing so much. And I feel like your guides and your team is so proud of you, and how much you guys are like a rocket ship going straight to the top. So I really hope that helped you guys. Let me know if it did in the comments. Leave a like if it resonated, and make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, and I will be back very soon for another video. So sending you guys so much love and light. Have an amazing day, guys. Bye. Hello, my lovely pile 3s. So if you guys picked this pastry, this is going to be your reading. You can see that there is this little pecan or maybe a walnut up there. It looks really good. I don't know what this would be, maybe some kind of a nut pastry. And I love that it makes the crinkling noise, like it has real sugar baked on top. But let's get into your reading, guys. So we got Wheel of Fortune, Empress reversed. These are all reversed, by the way. So Queen of Cups reversed, 3 of Swords, the Fool reversed, the Tower, the Hermit, the 4 of Wands, King of Cups, Ace of Cups reversed, the Devil, and the 10 of Swords. So I don't know what you guys have gone through, but to me it looks like there was something very upsetting that happened to you guys. It's like you guys are out of your power. You guys are not in Empress energy or Queen of Cups energy. For some of you guys, this may have been a romantic person with the King of Cups coming out right underneath the Queen of Cups. I feel like some of the gossip may have been that you guys were in a bad relationship, or maybe, I don't know, could be currently in a relationship like this, and that this person may have lied to you. We also have the 5 of Swords reversed down there. So I'm feeling like there may have been someone in your life who was very charismatic, maybe a male, or if you're a masculine, it could be a woman who lied to you and broke your heart or something. But yeah, like I feel like for a lot of you guys, this was like a romantic partner who lied to you and left you alone, and that you guys are like hung up on that. So it could be that people are talking about like, oh, this, it could have been that the gossip at the time was like, oh, they're cheating, or oh, they're, that person is lying to them, or that person doesn't treat them very well, because we have the king of cups coming through again down here. So I feel like this is strongly kind of this masculine presence. But if you are masculine and you date women, it could be a woman as well. But I don't know, like for most of my viewers are women, so it could be so it's like coming through as this king of cups, for sure. But I feel like for you guys, it's like people are saying that you guys are going through a really hard time with the Wheel of Fortune reversed. People are saying maybe that you guys like are alone again or something, or maybe there's gossip along those lines of like, oh, this person, they always end up alone or something, or like it never works out for them. Or maybe they were talking about, that this person is cheating on you at the time when you guys were together. It could have been that they were saying, that like, I can't believe she's with him. I can't believe he treats her like that. People felt like you were not in your power. People felt like you were very highly unempowered in this relationship. For some of you guys, it could be like you have a powerful father or something like that, and he's doesn't really treat you well or doesn't make you feel empowered. Isn't like, that model dad that you see in the movies that's like super sweet. And I feel like people are just aware of you guys being out of your power, you guys being emotionally unregulated because of this situation. Can I get guidance for what is the gossip about pile 1? Manifestation. What is the gossip about pile 1? Divination reverse. So maybe you guys were not in your intuition. Maybe you guys were just not listening to your intuition and stuff. I feel like this person didn't respect you. In fact, you know what? This person might have been gossiping about you, or they could still be gossiping about you. If you guys dated a narcissist or someone who is very manipulative, this person could be, that's why they could be coming through so strong in this reading, is that they're the ones talking about you, and Spirit's trying to point you to that. Because I'm not sure why people would gossip about like, oh, they're in a bad relationship. Like if that were me, I would be gossiping about the person treating you badly. I wouldn't be gossiping about them like, oh, they're a loser because someone's treating them badly. I'd be like, why are they treating them like that? They're a piece of garbage, So I feel like it could be this person that's talking about you. It could be a situation where some of you guys, this could be, I feel like it's like mostly a masculine, for you guys, and I feel like this masculine is talking about you behind your back. Again, for the men, it could be a woman that you dated, but I'm just getting for most of you guys, it is a masculine, and I feel like this person does a lot to destabilize you or make you feel emotionally crazy sometimes. Like, I feel like this person may like gaslight you or make you guys feel like you guys are overreacting or something. There's a strong thing about them, like we got, this has to do with manifestation again. So it's almost like they're taking you out of your ability to manifest or something. What is the gossip? What are they saying about pile 3? What are they saying about pile 3? Compensation, perseverance. What are they saying about? I feel like they try to put you down, but I feel like in a weird way, this has made you guys stronger. Like you guys, even though this person talks bad about you, it's made you guys, it's given you guys a lot of pain. But I'm hearing that line from the Kelly Clarkson song where she says, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Stand a little taller. So it's like you guys, I feel it's given you so much strength, and you guys, even though you have been treated badly by these people, or this relationship has really taken a toll on you, it's like you guys are coming out on the other side eventually. This just may be a period of like testing. I feel like this person wanted to undermine you and even like ruin you financially. So I don't know, this is really interesting. It could be Again, some of you could be like a parent, a dad or something who, you know, made you financially dependent on them and then kind of left you out in the dust or something. This person does not want to see you guys empowered. This person does not want to see you guys, you know, in Empress energy, glowed up, finances on point. They don't want to see that. They don't want to see you guys. This may have been a repeating pattern as well. This may have been going on for a long time. Who is gossiping? What is the gossip? What are they saying about Pile? I feel like they're saying that you're emotionally unregulated and that they watch everything you guys do. They're very, very much paying attention to you. They're kind of like your biggest fan, but not in a good way. Like they're trying to pinpoint anything you do so they can go around and tell people that like you're unstable or that you know, you're crazy, or that like, oh wow, they're going through a really hard time. I feel like this person may have used money to control you guys, and they may have really tried to like offer you like, you know what, hey, I'll pay for that. I know you're having a hard time financially. Well, why not just let me, you don't have a lot of money. I'll just go ahead and pay for that. Like, please don't even worry about it. And you're like, oh, okay. I mean, yeah, that's so nice of you. And the next thing you know, you're financially controlled. You're looped in with them. You can't get out of it. You're financially dependent and your mental state is not in a good place because this person has gaslit you, and they, you know what it is? They see your power. They see how powerful you are and that you guys have this limitless capacity to create, and they're trying to take that away from you. They don't want you to be fully in your power, and they may have made a lot of threats to you about, you know, if you don't do this, I'm cutting off the money, or like if you don't act this way, then I'm cutting off the money. But I think you guys don't realize that I feel like they were talking badly about you from the jump. I don't think it just started because you guys didn't do something they wanted. They didn't like any of your behavior. They see so much power in you, and this is what I figured we would have. I think you guys are being divinely protected by from these gossip and from these people. And so we got Archangel Michael, who is the angel of protection, appreciation, envy. This person never appreciated you. They don't even see you. I feel like this person, they are so narcissistic and crazy. And like I said, man controlling, man holding a coin. They are so narcissistic and crazy that I don't think they ever saw you as amazing. In fact, I think they are irritated by the fact that so many people see you as so amazing. And they, look how many reversals we got, by the way. They all fly out reversed. Like this person is really janking up your life and really creating so many problems and blocking things. Like adjacent possibilities is reversed. Blocking off possibilities for you, blocking off your options, you know, janking up your open road that you have of like, I could create anything. You guys are very powerful. And I feel like this person is probably a narcissist, and they're irritated by the power you guys have. And they're irritated by the effect you have on other people and the fact that other people do ask about you. Other people are intrigued by you. And I'm getting that none of them are intrigued by this clown. None of them want to know about what this clown is up to in the slightest. And this person thinks of themselves as being very interesting and being the star of the show, the main character. So they can't stand the fact that people aren't asking about them, but they're like, oh, well, how is Lydia? How is Sarah doing? Oh my gosh, did that, you know, business she was trying to get off the ground, is it doing well? They can't stand that because they wish they were interesting like you, and they don't know why everyone is so fascinated by you because they're so narcissistic and stuck in their own energy that they can't look outside. So all it does is build irritation for them. They can never be honest with themselves about the fact that they're a boring loser who doesn't have much going on. And so instead they just take it out and let it build into this rage against you and this deep envy. And it's like they're very unconscious. I'm sure they're not even aware that they're doing this. It's like they're just a hater. They're just a hater who just can't stand the fact that you guys glow super strong. And so they have purposefully, I feel, tried to kind of lure you guys out of your power and out of being in your sun energy into being very upset. I feel like this person has tried to play hard on your mental health, tried to gaslight you, tried to make you guys question yourselves, tried to make you be unsure of yourselves, they are trying to mess up your mental health. That's coming through really strong. I feel like they would love it if you guys like totally went off the rails. Like I'm getting flashes of like Britney Spears, you know, with Jamie Spears. She had a similar situation with her dad, and this is very similar actually, where it's like, you know, the dad couldn't stand that she was this superstar, and so he like snatched all her money up and, you know, got her under that conservatorship. I feel like this person would love to do the same. They would love to do the same because they can't stand how powerful you guys are, and they want to keep you out of your power and kind of waste your time, so you guys are constantly playing catch up. Like you guys are constantly dealing with their narcissistic abuse and trying to change what they've done to you, or trying to like sort it out. Love reversed. Yeah, this is not love. If you think this is love, this is not love. This person is so selfish, they're probably not even capable of love. What is the gossip about pile 3? Spirit, Archangel Michael, what is the gossip about? Oh my God, exactly. Spirit calling it out. Distorted masculine, sacred woman. So if you guys are, you know, again, sometimes the gender can be switched in this, but this is just coming through so strong as like gendered. But of course, if you are the masculine, it could be a toxic woman, but I feel like for most of you guys across the board, this would be some kind of a toxic man. But take what resonates, apply it. Hopefully, you know, you have a person in your mind who's popping up, and then it's that person. But it's like, this is so strong, such a call out of like, this person is so distorted. They're so mentally unwell themselves, and that's why it's a joke. It's a joke that they would try to make it out that you guys are the crazy ones, or you guys have bad mental health, because they are truly sick in the head. They're completely distorted, and sometimes distorted masculine can just mean like, oh, you know, you have to make some changes, or you have to step into your power, and you haven't been fully empowered as the masculine is supposed to be. You're not taking initiative in your life, and you need to learn to take initiative, that kind of a thing. But this is like way beyond that. This is like deep distortion. Like there's levels to being distorted, and you know, sometimes someone can be at the top and they just need to make a few changes, and this person's like down in hell. Literally, this person is so distorted and very sick, and they're probably never going to change for their whole life. They're probably always going to be messed up, effed up, screwed up, and just a total trash pile, a rotting trash pile. So it's like, you guys, on the other hand, are this powerful energy that is so beautiful, and I feel like that may be one of the reasons why Spirit puts you in this situation, is like it's a test, or it's to make you guys grow. Let's get more cards. Let's get more cards for pile 3. What is the gossip about pile 3? Letting go. It's important for you guys to like get away from this person and end this situation, because no good can come of it. Even if they're giving you money, I feel like the money they give you is tainted. The money they give you, it's like, you know, it always comes with this huge price. Some of you guys may have tried to like change this person. This is really interesting. So we got happiness coming out, we got purity reverse, and then we got purification. I feel like Spirit is saying that this person is so unpure themselves. They're so impure. They're so trashy, and they have such an impure energy. It's like filth energy. They are spiritually very impure. They are very nasty, dark-sided type of person, very gross energy for me to tap into, to be honest. And I feel like you guys may get stressed out after you speak or deal with them. You may find yourself like you're in a good mood, they call, you pick up, and next thing you know, you feel horrible. You feel like even you could feel crazy or depressed, or that your emotions are all over the place. And a lot of this is down to this person who has literal filth energy. Like if their spiritual version of themselves is like someone caked in mud and dirt and waste, and just walking around like absolute mud, like just dripping off them, covered in flies. And like, you know, if you could see their spiritual side, you would see someone who is so filthy, so disgusting, so repulsive. And that's why you, after you deal with them, are feeling nasty and down in the dumps, is because it's, imagine you saw someone like that who was just dripping in mud and smelled like a rotting carcass or something, and just flies are buzzing around them and they're just disgusting to look at. And imagine you came up and gave them a big hug. You know what I mean? You guys may have just taken a shower yourself, but inevitably you're going to get dirty and feel nasty, because you are going to be nasty after you've dealt with them and touched their energy field. So the thing is that I feel like when you guys get away from them, you guys can work on purifying yourself. And I feel like a lot of your manifestations will start coming true. And I feel like a lot of your mental health is going to improve, and you guys aren't going to feel like on edge or feel, bad about yourself or have these doubts that have been plaguing you. You guys are going to be able to come into happiness, and you're not going to be stuck in this energy that you guys have been stuck in. But I almost feel like it's important for spirit that you guys take that first step to get away from them, and you don't continue dealing with this. Let me get more cards. What is the gossip? What are they saying about pile 3? What are they saying? What are they saying about pile 3? Spirit guide reversed. And I feel like you guys need to accept that they are the way they are. You can't keep fighting this. So we got psychic abilities, spirit guide, passion, forgiveness, confidence. I feel like spirit wants you to have confidence and kind of seize upon your passions in life and rediscover them. I feel like with forgiveness, it's not that you guys need to, I hate when people are like, you need to forgive. And it's like someone who did something horrible. Like, I'm like, absolutely not. I'm not going to like get in touch with them and be like, hey, listen, I forgive you. I will cut someone who's toxic out so quick. And it's honestly the best thing I ever did was starting to cut out toxic people a few years ago and not making apologies for them and not being like, oh, well, they didn't mean it. They said this, but, you know, cutting them out and being like, okay, it is what it is, bye, was the best move ever. And I'm so happy. But I just think forgiveness in terms of like, don't carry it around or stew on it, because I feel like this person, again, something about them is that their energy field is truly toxic. And the more you guys think about them, you're kind of tuning into their energy. And so it's not that you can think about them to understand them from like an intellectual perspective, but I just don't want to see you guys like constantly thinking about them, constantly going over and over it in your mind and trying to figure it out. Just understand that they're trash, and you're never going to understand it because you're not trash. You're never going to understand the darkness of this person's mind and the true deep sickness that they have deep inside of their soul. So there is no reason for you guys to be ruminating. You guys are actually like way above them. So why would you spend your time thinking about someone who's so far below you? You know what I mean? Like the CEO of the company isn't going to be ruminating about like the random cockroach that's on the floor of like the fast food company they own. You know what I mean? They're not going to be thinking about that cockroach nonstop because they have other things to do. And so it's like you guys are wasting time thinking about this person. Just accept that they're trash and move on is my advice. And I know I'm coming across really strong, but this person's energy is just so unmistakable, and I hate that they just have it out for you guys and that they're talking bad about you. What is the gossip about pile? If you're living with this person, I feel like it would be really amazing for you guys to move out, move away from them, and it would be such a glow up. Heal the ouch. You're not going to be able to heal it until you get away from them. And this person, it's like they're taking note of everything you do. So if you guys, make the tiniest mistake, like if you, I don't know, forget to, you know, do the dishes one night or something. They will go around and tell everyone like, oh, this person didn't do the dishes. They're depressed. They're filthy. They're a hoarder. They have an issue with cleanliness and they are disgusting. And I couldn't believe it, but there's food, there were dishes in the sink and they're just, you know what I mean? Like they'll just make a mountain out of a molehill. Like the slightest thing you guys do, they're going to start telling everyone about it. And that's the danger of it, is like the more you stay around them, the more they can make up these absurd and ridiculous stories about you and slander your name and make up disgusting rumors. They are just so intent on like ripping you guys down. And so I feel like it's like, this is so important, and Spirit just wants you to know to like get away from them. What is the gossip about pile 3, Spirit? Let's get more cards. But you guys have so much specialness about you. I feel like it's just so important for you guys to be on your own and to get away from them, because no good is going to come of this. Like, again, this, for a lot of you guys, this may be family or it may be an ex or something. Temperance is saying, like, if this takes a while for you to get away from them, then that's okay, but you need to start working towards that. The better you can get away from them, the better. So like if you if it's an option to do it quick, then do it quick. But if you need time, like Spirit will work with you on this, because Spirit wants you out of this, and Spirit wants you to get into a more balanced place. Spirit wants you to get into a place where you guys are able to be happy and emotional. And we got the Knight of Cups and the King of Cups, and I feel like Spirit is saying that like you guys can come to this place of feeling emotionally balanced and not feeling like you guys are, you know, constantly upset and constantly kind of playing catch up to like how this person has treated you so badly. Like I feel like you guys, we got Knight of Wands, we got Knight of Cups, Knight of Pentacles. There's so many like new fresh starts that you guys can be experiencing in your life, and new things that you guys will be able to pursue and do and try in your life. You know, so many like fresh journeys. I almost feel like when you get away from this person, it's going to be like you have this new lease on life, and you guys are just going to be able to experience life in such a deep, beautiful way. And so you guys getting away from this person will unleash these brand new, fresh possibilities in a way that I feel like you guys never fully imagined or understood before. And it's just going to be so amazing. So I feel like it's like, if you can get away from them, I feel like your spiritual team will help you. Can you give me more guidance with that? What's the gossip? What are they saying? Why don't they like it? It's because they like, yeah, they're threatened by you guys. They think you guys have so much potential and such a spark to you, such a special like power within you guys. So we got deep quiet, jeweled web, the farther gate, bold step forward. So it's like, take that step, you know, go for it. Try to get yourself out of this situation. Protecting the future, because it's like you guys, every time that you spend time with them, it's like you guys are hurting yourselves. You know what I mean? And maybe if your mental health isn't good, that's because you know that deep down inside you are, it's almost like self-harm or something, because you're tolerating this person who's just horribly hateful for you. That was actually, I think, supposed to be reversed. It came out like this or like that, but then I just was like, okay, let me flip it. But yeah, I think, and so that one says possibility for a union, and it's reversed. So I feel like for you guys, this is just telling you like there's no possibility for this to switch or to change. Just leave this person in the past. Just learn to just leave it as is, say goodbye, and don't stay attached to this person, because again, they only have your worst intentions at heart, and they are not looking out for you in a positive way. They are not trying to see you succeed. I do feel like they act like they're trying to help you, especially if they're giving you money. They act like, oh, I'm so charitable, I want to see you succeed, but they don't. Spirit, can you give me more guidance on this situation? The thing is that they are spreading rumors about you. And I guess this is why this reading came up in a gossip reading, because I wasn't expecting something like this to happen. I hope it resonates. Guys, let me know if it does in the comments, because this is so specific. It's really interesting that I wasn't expecting this, but I feel like this person truly is gossiping about you so much, spreading rumors, telling people stories about you, trying to smear your name and reputation. And I feel like that's the difficult thing sometimes when you deal with a narcissist, is like, you figure out who they are, but other people still have their rose-colored glasses on. It's hard for anyone who's like functional, kind, nice to even fathom or understand people who are truly cruel and have no emotion and no empathy and are just so self-interested. It's hard for those of us who are just normal, to not even angels, but just normal, to even imagine that someone could be so cruel and so nasty. And I'm hearing that line from Vampire Weekend, Unbearably White, where he says like, casually cruel. And it's just like, and it's just crazy how someone can be, I don't know, the way he sings it in that line, you guys will know what song I'm talking about. And a lot of the album has him talking about like how, you can be shocked by someone's like cruelty. Like there's other songs like Harmony Hall about that and stuff. But anyway, I just feel like that those songs are coming to my mind, like the slow realization that someone never really had your back, and that they actually never liked you, and that they always didn't like you, and that they went out of their way to hurt you. That's a hard lesson to learn. And a lot of people don't even want to wake up to that fact. They don't want to even imagine that people out there exist. It's kind of like hearing about like a werewolf or a vampire or something. It's scary, you know, people don't want to admit that people like that exist, so they'll just kind of pretend like, no, it didn't happen like that, or they must have deserved that. So the problem is that this person's going around talking behind your back, and people are listening, and they're kind of like, oh, well, it must be true, especially if this is a family member. Everyone assumes that families are protective of each other, so they're like, well, they wouldn't be saying it if it wasn't the case. They wouldn't be saying it if it wasn't true, so wow, this person really must be a bad person, you know? And they're listening, they're buying into it, they're paying attention to everything this person said. So this is the danger of sticking around with this kind of person, is like people don't know any better, and they are going to take it in, and they are going to listen. So I feel like the message for you guys is to very much stay away from this person, because they're not saying anything positive or good about you. And you guys have such a beautiful, powerful spark. And I feel like once you get away and you unleash that spark, you guys are so special. I think this person would not be going after you if you weren't so special and so amazing. Just like, you know, Britney Spears' dad went after her because she was like this superstar with so much charisma, and they tried to make her sister famous, but it didn't work, because it wasn't just about any, you know, blonde girl dancing around or whatever. It was about Britney Spears and her very special energy and her charisma that's like once in a lifetime energy, you know, that only she can do. Only she can kind of make her faces and, you know, have her energy that people just love. And that's the thing. You guys have a special energy to you, and so this person's trying to snuff it out. And so recognize it as a compliment, and then get the heck away, because I don't think there's any good that's going to come out of this reading. I feel like Spirit is wanting me to let you guys know that you guys will be protected if you get away from this person. Like, they want you to get away from this person so bad that if you guys, I'm not saying do anything crazy, like if you have no money, don't just run away from home, you know, but if you guys can figure out an escape plan, and, you know, I feel like there may be a moment where it's like you kind of have to like jump, or you're uncertain, like, you know, where things may not seem that easily figured out, but it's like your team will defend you, will protect you, will put things into place so that you guys are extra protected, because they want you to get away from this person so badly. They want you to end this. They want you to be free, and they are willing to do whatever it takes to help you guys get there. So I just feel like if you guys have to take a little bit of a leap of faith, that's okay. Do it, go for it, because you guys deserve so much better than how you're being treated. You deserve so much better. And this person has nothing but bad intentions for you. and there's no good that is going to come out of this. They're just going to smear your reputation even more. And even, you know, people have a tendency to ask like, well, I don't understand why she stayed, or I don't know, well, he must not be that bad because she's still with him or something. You know what I mean? So the more you guys stay, the more people are going to have that, you know, ammunition or that mentality. And I, you know, to a certain extent, you don't have to worry about some of these people who are going to believe it, because if they believe it, they're not really on your team. But it's like the sooner you can get out and extricate yourself and kind of protect your reputation, I feel like just the better off you'll be, and you won't have to deal with this BS. You won't have to worry about it. So yeah, is there anything else you wanted me to say, Spirit? Just that they're going to protect you. So I think that's it. They do say they're going to protect you. You guys are divinely protected. So don't worry about it. If it's daunting and scary, I understand, but it's so important for you guys to get away from this and get into this beautiful energy that you guys actually have. That's actually your soul. That's when you're not dirtied up by this trash box. So, I keep seeing that image of, I don't know if you guys have seen Mulholland Drive. I love that movie. And in it, there's like, I guess it's kind of classist to say, but like there's like a homeless lady in it, and she's like exceptionally dirty, like she's like covered in dirt. I saw that movie a few years ago, but this is what I'm just seeing her image, and it's like that's the level of dirt I feel like this person has. Like the lady's just like caked in dirt head to toe, and that's kind of like you guys, like not you guys, that's this person. And like I said, they're coming over to hug you and to be around you, and you need to be careful because their intentions are very evil. That's kind of one of the themes of that movie, which is why I like it. But like you have to protect yourself and understand that people can have bad intentions, and this person definitely does. They have extremely bad predatory vampiric intentions towards you. So get away from them so your energy is not being sucked out by them, and they're like little leeches. So yeah, so I'm sorry it wasn't a more positive reading, but I guess Spirit really wanted this message to come through. So I really hope it helped, guys. Let me know if it resonated, because I'm curious about this. This was very intense for a gossip reading. I wasn't expecting this to come through, but I hope it did help. I hope it was what you guys needed to hear. Also, make sure to like if you liked the video, subscribe, turn on those notifications, and I will be back very soon for another reading. Sending you guys so much love and light. Take care, guys. Bye. Hey pile 4, so if you guys picked this pastry with the golden raisin on top, this is going to be your reading. Let me try to get this to focus, but you can see the detail of the little golden raisin, and there's like powdered sugar, I guess, on top. It's crunchy, just like you would expect a pastry to be. So it looks really cool. Love that. Let's get into your reading though, guys. We got the Hanged Man, we got the Eight of Pentacles, we got the Moon reversed, we got Justice, we got the Seven of Swords reversed, we got the Nine of Wands, King of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, the Eight of Swords, the Five of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, and Three of Pentacles. So I feel like right away, like people are saying, we also down here got the Lover reversed, the Lovers, and then the Hermit and the Star. And I feel like people are saying kind of like that you guys are like heartless, like something. I'm hearing that Kanye West song Heartless, and it's like, how could you be so heartless and stuff. I feel like people are saying that you guys are like a heartbreaker, and with the Queen of Wands, you guys may be very attractive, and people are saying that you use that to get money or something. Like you guys only care about money, or you only care what you're you know, about like your own goals, and you're not, you kind of like, it's almost like you're luring these men in, like the sirens or whatever in Odysseus, where he like, where they would sing and the men would pull over their ship or whatever, and then they would lure them to their death in the water. Like it's like that kind of a vibe where you guys are like these temptresses using your like wiles or being dishonest to try to get to these guys money or something like that. I don't know, because it's like that seems way over dramatic to me, but I feel like people are just gossiping about you guys working on your bag, you guys focusing on your coin, and it's almost like there's this assumption that you guys should be, I don't know, married or settled down down or more sweet to, I don't know, someone of the opposite sex or people who are trying to date you, that you guys are like not kind or nice enough to them and that you're using them, something like that kind of a vibe. There's a judgment about you guys, I feel like, being like selfish or using your sexuality, or that you're not like this sweet person that you're supposed to be, who's just like, you know, it's almost like people want you to be like a housewife or something. Or if you're a guy watching this, maybe they want you to be like a settled down, you know, husband or something. And it's like, oh, instead you're focusing on your bag, you're focusing on getting money, you're focusing on your career. And people don't like that. And they feel like you guys are, again, shallow, superficial. I feel like there's gossip about like, you know, oh, they didn't really earn that. They got it from a sugar parent, a sugar daddy, or a sugar mama, like something like you only date wealthy people, or you only date people who can do something for you, or you're not actually emotionally invested in these relationships. You're just doing it for the cash. People assuming that you guys didn't earn it and that you've been like sneaky or duplicitous in getting it, like you guys have lied or not been honest or done it through dishonest means. And that, yeah, that you guys are just very like scheming kind of in that way. Also that you guys radiate a lot of sexuality and attractiveness, and that, you know, we also got the Star, we got the Queen of Wands. So like that you guys are using your looks or your attractiveness to get money, to get cash, and just to get like benefits in this life, I guess. Like you guys never had to work as hard as other people or something. And it's almost like they're saying like, yeah, they pretend to be nice to these people, and at the end of the day, they don't even care. They just only care about the money. And they, you know, act like they are into these people, but they're really not. All they care about is cash. All they care about is the money they get. So there's this whole narrative being created around your relationships that involve you not really being invested and using people for their money. I'm going to pull from this deck. Can you tell us about the gossip about pile 4? What's the gossip? Shadow reversed. So it's like you guys have a strong shadow side. Harmony. So yeah, people are saying that you guys are using these relationships. Like you guys, you know, they look so in love in this card, but you guys are like faking it. Let me get it focused. You guys are faking, you know, like you'll look up of, I'm reminded of like, you know, when Meghan Markle got married and to like Prince Harry, and then, you know, there was like all these Twitter posts about like, are you looking at your man the way Meghan Markle looks at Prince Harry and stuff? And I don't know, like I feel like people are saying that you guys are looking up at, you know, your partners or something and putting on like an act or putting on a face or acting, you know, like you care but you really don't. Yeah, I feel like people are envious of you guys and like the money you have coming towards you and the way that you guys have this kind of star power exuding from you. Like people can see that you guys are on the track for financial success, and I feel like it's almost like they don't like the fact that you guys, I feel like it's like you guys kind of have it all. A lot of you guys have an attractive look to you. And you also are someone who's like ambitious, hard worker, that kind of a thing. And so people don't like that fact. They don't like you guys coming at things and wanting it all, kind of a thing. They want you to like settle down, stay in your lane, not be trying so hard, not be trying to step out of it. They want you to just accept your life as is and not be trying to step out and step into another level. They want to see you disempowered. We did get the Empress reverse, so I feel like for them, there's also people talking about like, oh, you lied, or like you're like, I feel like people are being snobby as well. There may be talk about like, oh, well, you weren't born into that, or you were born into this kind of a life and now you think you're so fancy, you know, going to these stores or something, or like you know, like you're so full of yourself, you have this audacity that you think you're going to become someone special. So I feel like it's like Yeah, you have a lot of eyes on you, and there are people saying, it's like people are resentful that you guys expect and want something better for yourselves. I also feel like people may be talking about you guys being psychic a little bit, or maybe there's this feeling like you guys are into, I don't know, like witchcraft or some kind of manifestation stuff, spiritual stuff. People might get freaked out by that. Some people get freaked out by like tarot, astrology, all of that stuff. So people may be saying that you guys are involved in that, and like they are, again, it's almost like people are saying that you're trying to get stuff through dishonest means. Like you're not coming at it honestly, you're not coming at it truthfully. You guys are, going about it through another kind of like the back door. Like, of course, you can come into something from the front and be super honest and upfront. And they're saying that you're using dishonest means to get what you want. And I feel like a lot of it is that you guys are unleashing sexual desire in others. So I feel like there's like people might look at you and say like, oh, well, how could they afford that kind of a car at their age? Or how can they afford that bag? Or how could they afford to live in that apartment? Especially like people might say like when they grew up in this kind of a place, or I know what their parents' finances are like I know they didn't, their parent didn't buy that. So there's this assumption that you guys got it through sexuality or relationships, or that people bought it for you, and that you guys used your sexuality, you awakened this yang energy in people, and that you guys didn't actually do the work yourselves. I feel like that's rumors people spread. I feel like sometimes they actually do know that you guys are a hard worker and that you guys did do a lot of work, and that's what Spirit is saying, is that actually you guys are like hustlers. You guys are not someone who's lazy or just wants to sit back, and nothing wrong with that. I mean, to me, I feel like, whatever, it's not some huge moral thing to like earn money, like whatever, but I feel like you guys do work hard for your money, and it's not that like it's not even true. You guys are actually really hard workers. You enjoy working hard, and it's like, so even the stuff they're saying, it's not even accurate. But people, I feel like they're saying that you're kind of like a charmer, like you're good with your words, you kind of know how to schmooze, you know what to say, but it's not honest, or that you guys aren't being fully real, but you're using your sexuality and you're using your words and your charm to get ahead. So it's like, yeah, something about you guys using your body, using your looks, using your appearance to get people to do stuff for you, and then using your energy. You guys have a very seductive energy. I feel like a lot of people are attracted to you, have crushes on you, or would very much like to be with you romantically. Some of these people talking bad about you may be people that, kind of like I'm getting like can't afford you. Like maybe they would want to date you, but you guys are not wanting to date someone that doesn't have their life together. I'm hearing no scrubs from TLC. So some of you guys, it may be that you're like, no, like you need to actually come correct. You need to pick me up in a car, nice car. I don't want to ride the bus with you to McDonald's and share something off the dollar menu. Like you need to pick me up and take me out to a nice restaurant, and you have these standards and these boundaries. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And so it's like, I feel like some of this may be bitterness from people that like tried to date you and you guys curbed them, and now it's like, oh, they're superficial, or they are using, it's just, I keep getting like using, like you guys are these users or something. Some of you guys may be party girls who like, go out and like get dressed up, or a party boy if you're a guy, and like do nails, hair, makeup, dress on 10, like heels and cute dresses or whatever. So again, I feel like it's funny. A lot of this stuff is stuff that people are attracted to about you, but then they try to go back and try to act like it's a bad thing, and try to be like, oh, it's horrible that they're so dressed up, or it's horrible that they're so attractive. And it's like, why is that a bad thing? Because you couldn't get with me, so now what was a positive is now a negative. But it's like they're going around and creating this narrative that you're this heartbreaker, or that you're like this shallow person that just uses people and you have no concern for others, when the reality is, I just feel like you guys have good boundaries. And I feel like a lot of the reason people are attracted to you is that you guys tend to have a good circle of friends. You actually do have respect in the community. So I feel like some of this talk about you is going to fall on deaf ears anyway, because your friends are just going to kind of roll their eyes and be like, okay. Like, they know what it is. They know a lot of this is jealousy. They know a lot of this is just wishful thinking, that they wish they could have what you do, and they're mad that they don't. So they're trying to turn a positive into a negative. So I feel like a lot of your friends and your social contacts recognize it as what it is, which is like jealousy. So they don't even take it seriously. They just kind of see it as a compliment. Like, a lot of people, I feel, have your name coming out of their mouth. A lot of people are aware of you. Like, you might find situations where you are out at like a party or at a club and you meet someone and the person like gets a look of recognition in their eyes, and you just know that they saw your social media, or you just know that they heard about you, and they're like, oh, you're the Emily, or like, you're the, like, I don't know, Sarah or something. And you're like, yeah, I am. And they kind of like, you can just tell the look in their eye that they heard about you. They heard your name, or they've seen you, or they knew, like, saw pictures of you on mutual friends or something. Like, I feel like people are aware of you, like, in a way that you don't even know how many people, like, I also feel like some of you guys could be like trendsetters when it comes to fashion, and you guys kind of have your own style, and you have like a glamorous vibe to you. You have a way of dressing that a lot of people actually copy and actually really think is really cool, even though they would never want to admit it to you. And I feel like you don't even try to set these styles. You guys just naturally have this aura to you of like, you, it's not like you're trying to be different. It's not like you're trying to be unusual. It's just, you have a really good intuitive way of putting together styles, putting together clothing, and also just carrying it off, because you guys have a lot of innate confidence. You guys have a vibe to you that it's like, you could be wearing, you know, I always compare it to like someone who has this vibe is like Rihanna, where she wears clothes that I feel like anyone else could buy those same clothes and try to wear it, and they would probably look really stupid, you know, because she sometimes wears such outlandish outfits, and if you could imagine like anyone else wearing them, it would probably look really bad. But because it's Rihanna and she has this like really beautiful face, but also just her level of confidence and her energy is like, she makes it look incredible, but anyone else wearing it might look like a clown. So there's something about your vibe and the sensuality that you exude that allows you guys to take an outfit and just elevate it no matter what it is. What is the gossip? What are people saying about pile 4? What are people saying about pile 4? Yeah, there's people that resent you because they are not able to do the stuff you do. We got self-sabotage, poverty consciousness. So a lot of people, it's like, you guys might have grown up around some people that don't have money themselves, or even if they had some money, it's like, I don't know, they're not actually good at manifesting money themselves. They may have inherited it or something like that, but it's like they don't actually know how the energy is of like manifesting money and bringing new money in. So a lot of them, I feel like they don't understand how you guys manage to get this stuff. They don't understand how you manage to have your bills paid and have cute clothes and have cute things. And it's like, to them, it's so crazy that you guys are getting cute purses and cute outfits, and you have your hair and makeup done, and you guys don't have to worry about like, oh my God, I can't pay my water bill. So a lot of them are just assuming that you must have gotten it dishonestly. I feel like there is talk and rhetoric around money that's like villainizes money or acts like money is a bad thing to have, or like you must have screwed someone over to get money. And so it's like, that is like self-defeating talk. When you villainize money, it stays away from you. So a lot of these people, it's like the more they talk about you, the more they're sabotaging themselves, the more they're telling on themselves by the fact that they just assume that it's impossible to get money unless someone is lying or cheating. That says more about themselves than it does about you. So a lot of these people are just revealing their poverty consciousness and the fact that they just feel like they'll never be able to get it. I feel like you guys are good at manifesting, manifesting, you guys kind of has a little bit of high priestess energy as well, where you guys are good manifestors. You guys know money energy and how to bring that in. And what may have been hard for someone else to manifest, it's just not that hard for you. You guys may have placements in your chart, positive Jupiter placements, positive Venus placements, even positive Saturn placements that make you guys great manifestors of money and make money flow to you very easily. And people can't understand that and they can't stand it. And also, I feel like you guys have a natural charisma and or like attractiveness that you exude. You might have had your whole life a lot of people having crushes on you, a lot of people thinking that you guys were more than what you were, a lot of people that you were like, oh, we're friends, and then they would be like, listen, I'm in love with you, or I have a crush on you, can I take you out? And you're like, I know, like you're a friend, you're in the friend zone. But it's something where, you know, you guys exude this Venusian kind of energy. Some of you guys may be Libras or Tauruses or have those kinds of placements, or have second house placements, have seventh house placements, but you guys have a vibe to you, a sensual vibe to you. I'm also hearing Leo that draws people in. And then I feel like it's almost like, when you're not willing to wife it up with them, or you're not willing to lock it down, then they get resentful. And then they're like, they lied to me, they led me on. Yeah, people feel like it's almost like you guys are like powerfully in control of them. I feel like it's like someone may have been like, they just assume that you guys are into like, I don't know, you have this power, and it's like spiritual power. So some people may assume that you have put like a love spell on them, or that you guys like, you know, it's like enchanted them or something, because it's like they can't stop thinking about you and they don't understand why. But that's just because of your innate charisma. It's not even something specific with them. It's something that has to do more with your overall vibe. What is the gossip about pile 4? Yeah, people can see that you guys either have money or are on the way to getting a lot of money. They see you as being very strategic, and that it's like, yeah, that like I feel like you guys just make smart moves. Like you guys aren't like dumb. You know what I mean? You guys are each move you make is very well thought out. And so sometimes there is this, I think that, I don't know if that was supposed to come out. Sometimes there's this feeling that you guys must have done something like instead of being like, oh, this person's strategic and that's awesome and good for them, it's taken as a negative of like you strategized in some nasty way, you were scheming. Oh my God, was this out of focus? I hate when that happens. I hope you guys don't get annoyed with that. Sorry. So annoying. But anyway, now you can see all the cards that came out. But yeah, so it's like you guys are, I feel like, very strategic, and you think your actions through, and sometimes people take that as you're not being honest. You know, there's like dishonesty with it, when the reality is there's nothing wrong with being strategic. But yeah, there's this very negative value judgment placed on it. I feel like also you guys aren't one to tolerate bad behavior. Like if someone wants to come wrong towards you and someone wants to be kind of nasty towards you, or like I said, wants to pick you up in a like beat up old car and take you to McDonald's, you're not the one to tolerate it. You're not going to turn a blind eye to it. And so some people, I feel like, may say that you guys are, again, judgmental, shallow, that kind of a thing. But the reality is, I think you guys just know your worth. What is other gossip about pile 4? So we got peace, beauty. Yeah, you guys are really beautiful. And I feel like people say that you use your beauty. And they don't understand why you guys have so many blessings just fall easily into your lap. They don't understand why you guys seem to have just things just kind of fall into place for you. And I feel like they feel like life should be harder for you than it actually is. Courage. And yeah, that has a lion on it. I'm definitely getting Leo energy for a lot of you guys. Empowerment. Wow, that's a perfect card for you guys. Like I feel like you guys are empowered. You guys have this empowered energy exuding from you. You know your worth. You aren't afraid to know it and to lean into it and to show your worth. And so sometimes people feel like they take that personally, kind of, you know, they take that as a I don't know, they take that as a bad thing because it's like you're not willing to tolerate their BS, or you're not willing to tolerate their bad behavior. And so they take that as like an attack on themselves, rather than realizing that they could demand the same things you guys have. Maybe they tolerated bad behavior from people, or they put up with trash, and they feel like you should have to do the same. And you're like, no, we're breaking that cycle. We're not doing that. What is the gossip about pile 4? So we got distant thunder, clear the air, all is possible. I feel like you guys know that anything's possible. I feel like you guys know that you can have whatever you want. And I'm hearing that line from Ariana Grande where she says, I want it, I got it. And, you know, it's just like you guys know that if you want something, you can take it, you can have it. But a lot of people, it's like they want you, and they don't understand that you guys are focused on your path. You're not necessarily, some of you guys aren't necessarily looking for a full-on relationship right now. You might be looking to, you know, get your bag right, get your financial situation right, and then look about bringing in a soulmate or whatever. And so I feel like there's like, it's almost like people are saying that you left this, you know, trail of broken hearts in your wake, that you guys have, you know, been heartless and used people or something like that. So there's a lot of negative judgment attached to how you guys have made people fall in love with you, but I don't think it's necessarily something you do on purpose. I just feel like you guys naturally give off a vibe of someone who people just tend to fall in love with you. I feel like it's not that you're deliberately going out of your way to try to make people fall in love. They just happen to fall in love. So I think that some of this is just people who are kind of taking a very negative attitude to your empowerment. Let me get more cards for pile 4. What is the gossip about pile 4? Creativity. The garden. I feel like I'm hearing, I can't afford you. Wow, you guys have a lot of self-respect. You guys have a ton of self-respect. You guys know your worth and you know your value. And I feel like you guys are looking for this, like a chivalrous man. If this is a woman, into men watching this video, you guys are looking for this chivalrous guy who's actually going to come correct, bring flowers, maybe bring a horse, I don't know, but like be well dressed and everything, good hair, nicely groomed. And when someone comes, you know, and they hit you up and they're like, hey, do you want to come over and just watch Netflix with me? And we can eat, you know, some dried up popcorn that I, you know, stole from the movie theater. You're like, no, I'm good. Like, I don't think so. You're not wanting to be on a date with someone or waste your time unless they know how to act right and unless they can be on your level. So I feel like a lot of the gossip around you comes from people that you may have rejected romantically, or kind of like their other people that were into them. And then they see you rejecting them and then they get mad about it. Because it's like you guys are the star of the show and some people can't stand it. Like they want to be the main character and they can't stand how you guys just effortlessly become the main character, get this attraction from others, get these eyes and focus on you. People, you know, they want that kind of energy for themselves. But I feel like you guys are on such a positive trajectory. You're not letting this gossip or negativity hold you back. You guys are focused on the bag, and it's like you're not going to settle for less. And I think that's really beautiful. And I think a lot of people that act like that's a bad thing, it really is just jealousy. It really is that they just know that like they would never be able to do the stuff you do. So what is the gossip about pile 4? What is the gossip about pile 4? I feel like you guys are changing some of your like ancestral history of, you guys may have grown up in poverty, or you may have grown up in, like I said, you may even have come from money, but it's like old money and they didn't really know what they were doing and they didn't really know how to make money for themselves. And you guys are moving through into like your own manifesting energy. You guys are putting on this crown. You guys are learning your own power, and you're not tolerating and you're not accepting the attitude of like this is all there is to life. You guys know how much you guys are worth, and you guys are learning to manifest generational wealth, learning to shift some of these generational patterns, learning to move out of poverty consciousness, and making a very powerful shift. And I almost feel like there's certain people, it may even be in your family, that would ask like, well, who do you think you are? Or why do you always have to be the center of attention? Or why do you always have to make people fall in love with you? Or something like that. Like, people can't stand how much you guys have this Leo center of attention energy, and they take it as like a knock towards them because they were never able to do the stuff you guys are doing. And so they get angry about it because it makes them feel bad about themselves when they see how easily you guys made it happen. Because a lot of you guys didn't even have to work or try hard. It just came to you like at the snap of your fingers, just easy, quick, just flew in. Money just flew right in. There was no struggle. There was no hardship. I mean, there was some, but it's like once you guys really have accessed this energy, you guys are great manifestors. You guys are great at making it happen. And they don't understand why you guys were able to do things that it took them years to try to do and they still couldn't figure it out. And you guys have figured it out really early on. So for a lot of them, they're resentful and they're trying to find negative stuff to say about it. And they're trying to find any kind of doorway of negativity that they can point to. But I feel like with you guys, it's like you should be so proud of this. This is so amazing. What you guys are doing is incredible. And I just noticed this card that flew out and I didn't notice it. And it's so perfect for you. It says netcaster. Preparations come to fruition. So if you guys haven't seen this happen yet in your life, know that it is coming in. If you guys were wanting like an abundance reading, this is your abundance reading. I feel like you guys are really headed towards abundance, even more so than you have now. And that if you guys have been trying to manifest wealth, that it is coming. And I would just say, keep your standards high. Keep not tolerating the BS. The more you guys say like, no, I refuse to accept the janky date where we go out and, you know, split a burger that costs $1.50 and I'm not tolerating it. I don't want to eat a bag of chips sitting, you know, on someone's car bumper, like outside the 7-Eleven. I want a real date. I want to be taken out. I want chairs pulled out. I want to dress up. I want, you know, maybe to order a nice bottle of wine off the menu and have some, I don't know, foie gras or something, like whatever you guys want. It's like, keep not accepting less, because that is, I'm hearing from spirit that is actually a powerful money manifestation. The fact that you guys know you deserve more and you refuse to tolerate or accept this like subpar stuff that people have tried to give you is preparing you guys and is sending that powerful message to the universe that like, that's what I'll take and I'm not going to tolerate less. I'm getting the image of like, you know how sometimes they'll say that like a major company or a government tried to buy off someone's house and they'll offer, like maybe they wanted to build a highway or they wanted to build like a skyrise apartment complex, and they'll find some like, I don't know, community of houses in some certain area, and they'll offer to buy out all the different houses, and they'll start out and they'll offer each person a certain amount of money. And there's almost always someone who like just refuses to sell out of stubbornness, and they're like, no, I like my house, I'm not selling. And then they come up and they offer them more and more, and next thing they know, like the money offer has doubled and then tripled, and then it's gotten way higher. And it's like, that is the power of saying no, you know, because the universe is like, okay, well, try this. So I feel like when you guys are saying no to this subpar behavior and you're not accepting or tolerating the jankiness anymore, the universe is listening and hearing like, that's not what I want something better. And so the universe is saying that your willingness to turn down the BS is going to lead to this abundance you guys want. And even though people may say that you're bougie or stuck up or like, who do they think they are? I can't believe they really think there must be something special. It's like, yeah, I do think I'm something special. Correct. That's exactly right. I think I'm very special, and I think and I know that I deserve the best. Correct. You're so right. So it's like, don't take that. Don't let it, I don't feel like you guys do let it get to you. I feel like you guys already intuitively intuitively know this because like I said, I feel like you guys are very spiritually aware. I am getting high priestess energy, so it's kind of like you already knew this. You don't need me to tell you, but I just feel like this universe wants me to confirm that you guys are doing the right thing for the path you want towards financial abundance, towards dating someone who's maybe a little more high value and brings, so many things to the table that you guys want. It's good that you guys are picky. It's good that you guys don't settle for less. And the universe is saying that they are trying to get those things aligned and lined up. And it's a timing issue, but they are working on having them and bringing them into your life. So don't let it get to you. I don't think you guys are, but just confirming and reminding, like, don't let it get to you that these people are saying that. Take it as a compliment. Like, oh, you really can't keep my name out of your mouth, huh? Because I know I'm doing so well and I know you see it too. Because if I wasn't, you wouldn't be talking about me. So it's like haters are fans, you know what I mean? So the more they say that, like, oh, she's bougie and stock up, it's like, yeah, I am. I'm very bougie. In fact, I love bougie stuff. So the universe will give me more bougie stuff. And no, I'm not really stuck up, but if that's how you want to take it, then sure, I'm stuck up because I know I deserve the best. So these people can keep hating or they can keep making judgments, and it just reveals their poverty consciousness and that you guys have a wealth consciousness. You guys know your worth. You know how special you are. And I feel like this is just a really positive reading, that you're not going to let the haters, get in your head and mess you up. You're not going to let the gossip get to you. And like I said, I feel like a lot of people have a lot of respect for you. So even if people are talking about you, your friends and your community is going to be like, no, you must be joking. Like, no, she's not like that. She's not shallow, but she won't accept less. So actually that's not true. She's a super loyal friend and we love her and we know we can trust her. But if you come, with some janky behavior, she's not going to tolerate it. And that's exactly how it should be. That's a positive thing. So yeah, I think you guys are protected in that sense because people do know that. I feel like you guys are actually a very loyal friend and you guys would do anything for your close friends. So there's so many people around you who know that and recognize that, and they know that the people that are hating and talking ish are coming at it from a place of pure envy and jealousy. And so they are not going to be bothered when someone wants to talk about, like, I think she's so shallow, because they're just like, okay, whatever, like rolling their eyes at it, because they know it's not who you are. They know that you guys are this sweet soul, but they also know you guys are headed for more and wealth and abundance. And not everyone is okay with that. Some people made really bad financial choices, and some people are not capable of manifesting, and some people have janked up their lives because they refused to leave poverty consciousness and they refused to want more for themselves, so they accepted less, and they can't stand the fact that you guys are choosing deliberately to move on. And I'm not, some people are in poverty for different reasons, so I don't mean to speak disrespectfully on anyone who is going through financial struggles or who has had to deal with a lot. Of course, we know there's a lot of unfairness in this financial system that we live in, to say the absolute least. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the financial system. So I'm not trying to, say that anyone who doesn't have money is like a horrible person or whatever, but I just feel like the people getting offended at you because you guys want more, they have a problem with money. They have a poverty consciousness because, there's nothing wrong with wanting to have more money or wanting to do well for yourself. It doesn't necessarily have to mean you love everything going on with the money system in this world, but you're like, well, that will give me a better life and that's what I want. So anyway, I just feel like these people that are trying to turn your glow up into a negative, they're revealing a lot of negativity about themselves. But I feel like you guys are very blessed and you guys are going to have even more blessings showered down upon you. So I really hope that helps you guys. Let me know if it resonates in the comments. Let me know your thoughts, your feelings, and if it resonated as well. Make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, and I will be back very soon for another reading. Sending you guys so much love and light. Have an amazing day, guys. Bye.